What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Dgotsauce, and I'm back with another live stream. Thank you guys for tuning in. I really do appreciate y'all viewership. We have so much stuff to talk about today. A lot has been going on this week, this past weekend. We got some new news from hip hop to war to migrant crisis. We got it all today, man. We got it all today. We got some stuff that we got to address today, man. We got some stuff that we got to address, man. I hope you guys are doing well, like always. I appreciate y'all viewership. Make sure you guys hit that like for your boy, and make sure you guys hit that subscribe button if y'all are new. Let's get into the show, man. I don't even want to be here too long tonight. We got some interesting stuff, though, man. We got some interesting stuff. Shout outs to the people. Shout outs to the people that tuned into me yesterday. That saw the show and was with me the whole show. We are doing our thing, man, and the chat is growing. So I want to make sure that at least this stream, if anybody wants to become a moderator, I definitely will start adding some mods to the chat, some more mods, because the people are supporting me, right? So, all right, let's get into it, man. First up, we're going to talk about Drake and Kendrick Lamar. Drake and Kendrick Lamar. I have mixed feelings about this situation. I have mixed feelings about this beef. And it's because I don't want to see another rapper dead. I don't want to see another rapper shot in the streets. I don't want to see another rapper saying R.I.P. I don't want to see that. And there was a point in time where rappers were getting into these rap beefs every other week. We'd see another rapper versus this rapper. And someone would end up dying. So the beef that is going on now, it's so big because these are like the top two rappers in my generation, right? And people are watching it closely because we've seen what happened when people get into beefs. We understand how violent and how evil it can be. So I say that to say this. Although I listened to all of the tracks, I cannot lie. I listened to all of the tracks. I had to because, I just had to. That's how they get you. But the shots that was taken on both sides, it's a sad situation, man. People are getting called pedophiles. People are getting called women beaters. People are getting called snitches. All types of names. People is talking about who they sleeping with. Baby's not yours. You got a missing baby that you ain't taking care of. The people is going crazy, man. They going crazy. They are hitting below the belt. They don't care who they introduce into the conversation. It is what it is at this point. All I'm asking is that it does not get deadly because I'm tired of seeing these rappers dying in the streets. I can't change. I won't change. I'll never change. Let's tune into the video, y'all, and see what's going on out here in the rap world.
Welcome back to ABC News Live First. It's the rap beef that keeps going back to back. Drake and Kendrick Lamar are trending after taking aim at one another over the weekend in 5 different songs, one of them dropping overnight.
Your fans are rejoicing, thinking this is my expiration. Even the picture you use, the jokes and the medication, the Maybach glove and the drug he uses for less inflation.
Now, Drake's latest record, The Heart Part 6, already has 8 million plays on YouTube and is a direct response to Kendrick's Not Like Us song. I want to bring in Anscape senior culture writer.
Now, listen here, y'all. Listen here. I did a little reaction to this one yesterday, and I posted it. Ended up getting copyrighted, so they took it down. Nonetheless, I don't really care. But I've listened to all the songs, And this news station is very clever to bring these people up here to talk about this beef, because they know that this is one of the biggest subjects right now in the hip hop industry. They was taking some shots, man. I can't lie, man. And I heard that the UN might have to step in. Toronto's looking unsafe. The people are furious out there in Canada. They thinking that Drake took an L. Am I going to say he took an L? I'll never say it. Because, Drake to me is the top. He's the top dog right now. But can I say Kendrick definitely hit him with some uppercuts? He knocked him down a couple times. Oh yeah, for sure. This one was worse than Pusha T, for sure. But let's continue, man. Let's see what this guy got to say about it.
And author of It Was All a Dream, Biggie and the World That Made Him, Justin Tinsley, to break it all down for us. Justin, thanks for coming on. There's a lot to go through here in a short period of time, but let's talk about the timelines this weekend, because this was all over the place. So can you take us back to what led to all of this and how we ended up with 5 diss tracks in just 2 days?
Yeah, like if I tell you the whole story, we would need a 6-part documentary. But just in this current construct, let's go back to 2023 when Drake and J. Cole had the song, the mega hit First Person Shooter, which Kendrick Lamar kind of took offense to about a big 3 and other lines within that song. That leads us to the song Like That, Future and Metro song on the We Don't Trust You album that came out a couple of months ago and eventually became the #1 song in the country for multiple weeks. Kendrick took direct aim at J. Cole, but definitely Drake in that record. Fast forward with a couple of responses from Drake a couple of weeks ago, and you get this weekend, which was unlike anything in hip-hop history, with a flurry of disses that just came from every direction, primarily from Kendrick Lamar.
Now, Kendrick Lamar doesn't usually give fans music like this back to back, but in Drake's latest song, he says Kendrick has 10 more songs. So do you think that means more diss tracks?
Oh, there's definitely more diss records in the tuck. Now, whether they actually come out, I'm not sure. But this is a tension that has been brewing for the better part of a decade. If you're familiar with Drake and Kendrick Lamar, hands down the 2 biggest rap stars of their generation and 2 of the biggest musicians of their generation. So he's been ready for a situation like this, and you can tell.
I gotta say this, man. I understand exactly why J. Cole did not entertain this foolery. I understand why. I fully understand. I get it. He don't want this type of smoke. He don't want this type of drama. He don't want this type of violence, lyrical violence. He's okay with being peaceful. He's okay with chilling. But these two, clearly, they not about that. They not about that at all. And I got to give it to them too at the same time, man. They want to show that they the top 2, and we want to all see who's #1 at the end of the day. Obviously, it's all going to be opinionated. Obviously, this is not going to go down. We ain't gonna have the facts of who actually won this rap battle, but this thing is breaking headlines right now, so everybody's talking about it. Let me know who y'all got down in the comments, man. Who y'all think that won this rap battle so far? Let's continue, man.
With the strategy, timing, and lyrical darts in his responses.
So Kendrick Lamar is just one of several rappers taking aim at Drake, including Rick Ross and Future, artists he's worked with closely. So why do you think that is, and how do you think it'll impact Drake?
You know, I always go back to something that my grandmother told me a long time ago. Like, people aren't going to say the same thing about you multiple times and it not be some truth behind it. So there is some element of truth behind all of this friction between Drake and, as he calls it, 20v1, because that's exactly what it feels like. And he's rubbed some people the wrong way in their perspective. And it was just an imperfect storm, or perfect storm, if you choose to look at it like that. So,
honestly, it's because he's the top dog. You got to expect this. Once you're on top, everybody's want to take your spot. He's the top dog. Everybody's looking up to him. He's been number one for the longest time. Nobody's been touching him. And now it's his turn to get touched. And he's getting touched by everybody at this point. Pause. No pun intended. He's getting touched by everybody right now. And he's throwing shots back at everybody. Respectfully, he's never backed down from any type of challenge. It don't matter who y'all sent to him. He stepped up and he did his thing regardless. Win or lose, he still tried to do his thing. There's probably one single rapper besides Kendrick Lamar, because they saying Kendrick Lamar is washing him right now. They saying that right now. So if that's what they saying, if that's what the majority of people are saying, then I understand, because you know Kendrick Lamar, his last two were just immaculate. That's the best way to put it. But again, we don't want to see this thing get violent at the end of the day. We don't want to see it get violent. No matter how good these people is rapping, no matter how entertaining they make it seem, I just don't want it to get violent. That's it.
It was just an unfortunate sense of timing for him.
Before you go, Justin, do you have a side here? Who are you going with, Drake or Kendrick?
You know, after a while, things got really uncomfortable in terms of the allegations that were levied out between both rappers, both of which they have denied in their own ways. But if I look back at the moments of this, I think Kendrick has more moments that really charted the course of conversation, whether it be Like That, whether it be Euphoria, whether it be Not Like Us, and even I just mentioned Euphoria. So he has more moments within this battle that I think are going to stand the test of time.
All right.
That's a fact. That's what the people are saying, man. That's what the people are saying. Big pause, Irv. Big pause. But shout outs to Kendrick. Shout outs to Drake. I hope these two do not end up offing each other or trying to off each other. That is my hope. I think that Drake had a great comeback. His last hit, The Heart Part 6. I think it was a phenomenal track also, but I don't think he got off what he needed to get off to make this a win. Let's see if Kendrick responds, man. Let's see if Kendrick responds. I'll be very, 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 very entertained if Kendrick does respond to this one, man. Let me know how you guys feel about that down in the comments below, man. I'd really like to know y'all thoughts. What up, Irv? What up in the chat? Thanks for tuning in, my guy. What's good? We about to move on to the next topic, though, man. We about to move on. Yo, Irv, who you got, man? Who you got? Is Drizzy losing? Is Drizzy losing right now? Is Drizzy losing? They calling Drizzy a pedophile. Oh, my God. They calling Drizzy a pedophile. That's tough. That's tough. That's tough. All right, we're going to get into the next topic, man. This is why I do not ever want to go to Chicago. Let's tune into the video, man. This is wild behavior.
Record this shit, Stone Key Killer, nigga. Ugly shit. Some sick shit, nigga. Bando got hit on his head.
Again, nigga. Headshots over here, bitch. Fuck you talking about, bitch. Stone Key Killer, bitch. Bando rocks, nigga.
This is the streets of Chicago. This is the streets of Chicago. We got Latin kings and Satan's disciples. That's what they call themselves in Chicago. And y'all really want me to go to Chicago?
Really?
Y'all think that it's a safe place? Y'all think that I should bring my family to this environment? I'll pass. I'll pass respectfully. I think this is the weirdest, most trash culture we have ever witnessed in the history of the United States of America. And specifically, Chicago. And that's a Palestinian flag. Anybody peep the Palestinian flag in the back? Hold up, man. What are these people doing out here on these streets? Look at this. So we got two different gangs yelling across the street from each other with a bunch of police officers right in the middle of them. I mean, let's give it up for Chicago, man, for the greatest state ever, man. Shout out to Chicago. Shout out to Chicago. Listen here, if you don't want to live long, go to Chicago. If you want to join a gang, go to Chicago. If you want to become a stone cold killer, go to Chicago. It will work out for you, I promise. But one thing is for sure, two things for certain. I'm guessing a majority of those people out there are not going to live long. Unfortunately. Wow. Earth says the battle of Kendrick and Drake is not finished. I hope it's not finished, bro. I hope it's not finished. This need to be finished though, man. Trash culture. Absolutely trash culture. That's the only way I could put this. It's absolutely trash. It's trash. It's worse than, this is the worst part of the community. This is the worst of the worst. This is the lowest you can get. This is under your shoe type of trash. This is sad, man. This is sad, man. Chicago needs help for real. For real.
That bitch crying.
This is trash, man. That's absolutely trash. I have nothing else to say about this nonsense that's going on in these streets, man. I will never go to Chicago, especially that south side of Chicago. I'll never. There's no point. There's no point. I'm not trying to be another OTF member, respectfully. I'm not trying to be another, what is it, 43rd member? I don't even know they think they own the street down there. So they call each other's names, their gang names, they call them after streets. I don't want to be a Latin King. I don't want to be a Satan disciple. This stuff is trash. It's trash. Let me know how you guys feel about that down below in the comments, man. This is wild behavior. Wild behavior. We can't just seem to have normal days, especially in Chicago. Shake my head. Shake my head. Literally, you can go look up anything you need. If you just type in Chicago crime, you will see something every single day. Without fail. Without fail. There's not one day that goes by that nobody gets shot. That's the saddest part about this. The saddest part about this. Not one day can go by where nobody's getting shot in the streets of Chicago, man. Trash culture, trash people, trash agendas. It's all trash. And it's sad, man. We praying for Chicago, though. We praying for Chicago. They fighting some real in them streets, for real, though. For real, man. For real. But hey, I'm glad I don't live there, man. Shout outs to them. Shout outs to them for living in the jungle. We gonna get into the next topic, and we gonna bring it to one of the biggest things that is actually happening right now in the streets. It's Hamas and Israel. It seems like they're coming to an understanding and an agreement that they will stop all this fiery talk.
The future of a ceasefire argument now hangs in the balance as Israel began conducting targeted strikes against Hamas in eastern Rafah along the southern Gaza Strip.
Our political reporter Darielle Fair talks with a local expert and has you covered with the developments in Gaza since we last saw you at 5.
The attack comes hours after Hamas said it accepted a ceasefire proposal brought forward by officials in Egypt and Qatar. Israeli government officials stating the proposal failed to meet its requirements and that it is moving forward with a military operation in Rafah, just one day after ordering the evacuation of thousands of Palestinians who were already displaced. During a press conference moments before the attack, State Department spokesperson Matthew Miller said the United States was against Israel's planned offensive in Rafah, emphasizing its potential humanitarian impact.
Of course, we have concerns that any evacuation at all in such a crowded area, if you see 100,000 people move, you're going to see other people in the next area move as well. The problem now is there's such limited places for them to go inside Gaza, and there is no effective way to distribute aid to them.
The Israeli Prime Minister's office said it would send a ranking delegation to Egypt in an effort to maximize the possibility of reaching terms suitable for Israel. Israel started the evacuation, and Rafah said it was just temporary. International relations expert James Davis says there's no way to avoid the damage that will come from this attack.
I am afraid that the number of civilian casualties would be catastrophic. I have no idea what would happen in such a situation. That would be devastating for the people of Gaza. It would also hurt Israel's standing in the world.
Miller said Washington will discuss the Hamas response with its allies sometime today, and he is hopeful a deal can be reached.
Finally. It's been long enough. Honestly, it's been long enough. I'm surprised they got to a ceasefire quicker than Russia and Ukraine did. It's been long enough, though. We've been waiting. People have been tearing up the streets of United States of America. They've been protesting like maniacs out here on the streets, and they ain't even nowhere close to Israel or Hamas. But clearly, people are getting heard. Thankfully, they might come to a ceasefire soon. They can't find nothing else. Israel done wiped out the whole of Gaza. Ain't nobody even saying a word about that. They leveled the entire city. And now they're trying to make a 5-year plan to build it back up and return all the hostages that Hamas has. Let's see if Hamas will actually agree to these terms. Let's see if Israel can actually agree to these terms, because again, it is not finalized. Stuff is not signed over. There's no handshake agreement. This is just all talk still. All talk still. But at least Israel is pulling out their troops from the war. Maybe they're relocating them somewhere else, but they're done with Gaza. They cleared out the whole of Gaza. They leveled it. They didn't leave not one building. Maybe a couple buildings they left, but they pretty much leveled the entire Gaza Strip. And that's unfortunate. So many people, so many innocent people have died because of this war. And it's just been getting worse and worse, man. It's just been getting worse and worse. But let me know how you guys feel about that down in the comments below. I'd really like to know y'all thoughts about that ceasefire talk. Hopefully we actually see it happen within this year. Obviously, negotiations is going to start unfolding, and we're going to hear more about this throughout the next couple of weeks for sure. But yeah, let me know y'all thoughts about that down below in the comments, man. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you guys leave a like on the stream on your way in and on your way out. I appreciate y'all viewership. You already know, man. You already know how we do it. We ain't stopping. We ain't stopping. I got
what was supposed to be a quiet Sunday.
Oh, sorry, y'all. Getting a little ahead of myself. I got a little stuffy nose. But we gonna still get through this, man. We gonna still get through this. This one right here is a sad situation, y'all. It's a sad situation. We've seen this stuff happen before. A stabbing just happened not too long ago in Australia of a priest. But this one is a man pulled out a gun on a pastor during his sermon. Let's tune into the video, man, and see what's going on in the streets of Pennsylvania. Let's tune in.
What was supposed to be a quiet Sunday at church turned into chaos for a group of parishioners as a gunman walked up to the front pew and tried to fire his weapon directly at the pastor. We should warn our viewers, some might find these images disturbing.
A Sunday afternoon church service dramatically interrupted.
A God that showed
The terrifying incident at Jesus' Dwelling Place Church in North Braddock, Pennsylvania, unfolding on a live stream, showing a gunman identified by police as 26-year-old Bernard Jr. Polite approached Pastor Glenn Germany and attempted to shoot, but the gun didn't go off.
It clicked. You heard him shoot it. It clicked. So God jammed the gun so that the bullet didn't come out.
Man, there's so much evil. So much evil out here on the streets. So much evil. And when we call it out, and we try to bring light to these situations, it's like it gets even worse every single day, man. It's like nobody's hearing the message. It's like nobody's understanding why you shouldn't do this stuff. Who is raising these people, man? Who is raising these people? This is all demonic. All of it. How you going to come up into a pastor's church while he's preaching and point a gun at him and try to shoot him? He tried to shoot him with it, but he couldn't. The gun jammed. If that's not God, then I don't know what is. If that's not God, then I don't know what is. And that's the amazing part about this entire video is we seeing the works of it right now. We seeing what could have happened, and we seeing what happened. And the only thing you can say, oh yeah, his gun jammed. He didn't load it right or whatever. But at the end of the day, man, that pastor is blessed. That pastor is super blessed. It's too much evil, man. Let's continue.
The deacon, sitting just feet away, leapt into action.
The man had his back turned towards me, and I could see he would never see me coming.
Both men wrestling the weapon from the gunman's hands. In the church at the time, 25 congregation members, including the pastor's daughter.
He stood up and he smiled at me, and it was just a smile.
The pastor actually speaking with the gunman.
That's evil. That's evil. He said he looked up at him after he stopped, after he got the gun from him. He looked over at him and he just smiled. He just smiled. This is the stuff we're talking about, man. This is the stuff. This is the stuff that we don't want to see. This is the stuff that we avoid. We try to tell the people, this is not what you want to, this is not the situation you want to be in, man. This is not the situation you want to be in. Thank God, man. Thank God that thing jammed.
He said, look, spirits was in my mind. He said that they got in my mind and they told me come in and shoot the pastor. He actually apologized to me. I told him that I forgive you and I want you to know I love you.
What could have been a devastating tragedy at this small community church, now considered a small miracle.
God hated.
They say that this stuff ain't real, huh? They say that this stuff ain't real. Oh, the devil's not real. Hell's not real. Demons ain't real. That's all in your head. Y'all can't fool me. Y'all same ones that saying these demons ain't real, y'all are some demons too. If y'all can't see it, y'all ain't understanding, y'all are some demons too. And I'm going to tell you like it is.
His hands on the pastor. He wasn't letting him go nowhere.
No question. Emily, what more, if anything, do we know about that gunman, the suspect?
So the pastor indicated that he had never seen the gunman before the incident, and now that gunman is facing a number of charges, including aggravated assault, attempted homicide, and reckless endangerment. We're also seeing our affiliate in Pittsburgh is reporting that later that night that police have been called to a house within a half-mile where the suspect had been living, and they discovered a body in that home. So more to follow. We're looking for additional developments there. We tried to identify legal representation but could not find anyone at this point.
All right. Keep us posted, Emily. Thank you.
Listen, put that demon in the darkest jail you can find. put that demon in the darkest jail you could find. He's lucky. He's lucky he can't burn in hell one time. He's lucky. This is sad, man. This is sad. But let me know how you guys feel about that down in the comments below. The devil is working. Clearly, the devil is real. And you can take it how you want. You can take it how you want. But this stuff is real. This stuff be happening all the time, every single day. We see it in the hoods. We see it in the suburbs. It don't matter. Evil is just running rampant down in these streets. Don't let these demons get a hold of you. Do not let these demons get a hold of you. That's my message to you tonight. If you want to know how, if you want to know how to avoid these demons, just let me know. We can tell you. We can teach you how to avoid these demons. Because once a demon gets you, it's over. It's over. What up, Sword of the Spirit? Thank you for tuning in. Sword of the Spirit's in the house. What up, what up, what up? Yeah, this is sad, man. This is sad. Sword of the Spirit, I'm going to get you a wrench. I'm going to get you a wrench. You kicked it with me all yesterday. And I'm going to get you a wrench. You a real one. You a real one. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate your support. And thank you again. Thank you. What up, though? I hope you're doing all right. I'm hoping you're doing all right today. We're going to get into this next topic. And this is our favorite ladies on The View. They have a little
White House Correspondents' Dinner was...
Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. They have a little clip here of what Biden was saying. Yeah, I'm going to give you a wrench, Sword. I'm going to give you a wrench. Next time you get on here, you about to have a wrench. You about to have a wrench. I'm one of your faves. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Honestly, this is dope. This is dope. That's all I can really say. You know, I appreciate the love. I appreciate you. And hopefully I can keep this thing entertaining. Hopefully I can keep this thing entertaining. But yeah, we about to take it to The View. Apparently Joe Biden's been throwing some shots on some type of dinner he had. He's been throwing shots at Trump. So we gonna review exactly what he said over here in this video, man. Let's tune into the video.
White House Correspondents' Dinner was Saturday night with SNL's Colin Jost taking the MC duties and President Biden taking some jabs at his opponent. Take a look.
The 2024 election is in full swing. And yes, age is an issue. I'm a grown man running against a 6-year-old. Donald has had 2 tough days lately. You might call it stormy weather.
Can we just acknowledge how
he's taking some shots? Who wrote him that? Who wrote him that? That's not off the top of his head. Somebody gave that to him.
How refreshing it is to see a president of the United States at an event that doesn't begin with a bailiff saying all rise.
So a couple of you went. How was it?
You know, I thought it was lovely, and I thought it was kind of like a return to normalcy. And this is another one of these things that to me is very uniquely American.
I'm sorry. I gotta say it. This woman right here, she rubbed me the wrong way. She rubs me the wrong way. Ever since I seen that first video of her talking about I don't need I don't need men, I need gay men. She lost me. She lost me 100%. So I'm already biased towards her. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Because let's just think about how many countries around the world, if you were roasting the head of state, you'd probably get killed. North Korea. You think you could make jokes about Putin? I love this new tack of Joe Biden's on taking on the age issue and making it humorous. Colin Jost also had some jokes about it. He said,
why am I not surprised by her answer? Why am I not surprised by her answer? The dude is literally falling all over the place, mumbling all his words, can't speak without stuttering for 5 minutes, and he's 86 years old, but he's doing everything correct. He's doing everything correct in her eyes. Why am I not surprised? It's crazy, man.
he said that looking at Joe Biden running and Donald Trump running, Jimmy Carter sitting there thinking, I could win this thing. I thought it was lovely.
I agree. I mean, we rode up on the train together, had a really good time. I also felt it was somewhat of a return to normalcy. As you see, I went kind of radical with what I was wearing because I also felt like, our democracy is almost on the precipice for me. And my stylist said, what kind of look do you want? And I was like, I don't know, Game of Thrones, Red Wedding, or maybe
See, I saw Britney Spears.
Yeah, I was going dark with it because I really feel that this is a time in the country where the press is on the front line. And to have an evening where the press is celebrated for a very difficult job these days was wonderful. And the president urged the press to rise up to the seriousness of the moment, focus on what's actually at stake. And I thought,
man, this is hard to get through. I'm not going to lie. This is hard to get through. I'd actually really like to know all that he said during that speech. Not just the shots that he was throwing, but clearly we see who supports him here. The view is all for Joe Biden. They're all for Joe Biden. And, respect to them. They choose who they want to vote for. They choose what side they want to be on. But it shows. It shows. It shows in their platform. It shows throughout their lives. I'm guessing, they're very liberal. They're very free-minded, free thinkers. And clearly, it's just not rubbing me the right way. Honestly, respect to them. They got a dope platform. Obviously, they grew it to however big it is now. But I just can't get with it, man. We're gonna try to finish this off. We got a couple minutes left, man.
thought that was incredible.
I thought it was so fun. I love it every year. I thought Colin Jost was hilarious. I'm a big fan of his. Yeah, but I do want to shout out from the ABC News publicity team, Brooks Lancaster.
Source said the dude could be Mickey Mouse could be a Democrat and they still vote for Mickey Mouse. Man, shout outs to Source. As long as they Democrat, they will get a vote for sure. They remind me of my auntie. Like my aunt, she is hardcore Democrat. Regardless of who did what, regardless of who's in the office, she is hardcore Democrat. Every time I have this conversation with her, I'm like, why do you vote this way? Why? And her answer is always, I will always vote Democrat no matter what. And it's like programmed in her head already. It's like, dang, so you can't even think of looking at the other side and what they offer to see if it even benefits you in any type of way also? And she's like, nah, Democrat till the day I die. So I was like, all right, auntie, you win.
I lost my ticket as we were going in.
Oh, no.
This is a high security event.
Can't get
Secret
in.
Service everywhere. Yep. I almost wasn't allowed in. He pulled every string in the book. He worked Secret Service. He talked to the people and he got me in. I was like in a panic and nearly in tears. So glad I got to be there.
Yes. And we also, am I supposed to ask? Excuse me.
No, I was not there. I was with
Was
my
she there?
children.
What were you doing?
I was at home with my kids, running to soccer and baseball and karate and church.
Understood.
You know that.
Yeah, normal stuff. Normal stuff. Because you don't really care that much. That's probably why. I hope you know the Hodge twins. Yes, I know the Hodge twins. Their mother told her, they were told by their mom that you're black. You vote Democrat. It's crazy out there. It's crazy out there. Honestly, though, it's like the Democratic Party has a chokehold on the black community, and I don't know why. I don't know why. And it's a lot of us. It's not even just a few of us. It's the majority of us is Democrat. Regardless of how bad they treated us, regardless of what they said, regardless of who supports them, they will rather be Democrat than they'll be Republican, and that's it. Nobody wants to hear nothing else after that. And I just don't understand. I can't move like that. I gotta hear both sides at least. I gotta hear both sides. But let me know how you guys feel about that video down in the comments below, man. I know it was a little tough to watch. But we got through it. We got through it without throwing up this time. I don't know if the view's gonna be back on this channel. I'm gonna be real with you. They're tough to watch. Black people are waking up. Yes, they are. Honestly, they are. Not only is black people waking up, I know some Spanish people that are waking up too. And they're not going to go out and say it proudly, obviously, because, you see what happens when black people say they're Republican or a minority says they're Republican in general. They're going to get criticized. They're going to get crucified. They're going to be called coons. They're going to be called porch monkeys. They're going to be called every name in the book. But they got every and anything on the left side of town. And if you call them out of their name, if you don't tell them their pronouns is they and them, and you mispronounce who they identify as, all hell breaks loose. Man, it's politics, man. Sometimes I'm just like, this stuff is just straight TV. It's reality TV. It's almost the greatest show ever. Politics, but hey, I think we're gonna see a different face this coming November. I could be wrong, but I think we're gonna see a different face, and I think it was all right. Honestly, when Trump was president, it was not that bad. I'll be honest with you. They always say the question, were you better off 4 years ago? And I look back 4 years ago, I'm like, yeah, I was kind of better off. Shoot, I was getting stimulus checks. I was home from work. Man, what? Don't threaten me with another good time. Shoot. What y'all talking about? Of course it was good. It was good for me, at least. It might have not been good for some, but shoot. What up, D? D's in the chat. Lies and propaganda. Joe Biden, you ain't black if you don't vote for me. That's a fact. $2 gas. Hell yeah. It was $2. Man, I remember seeing $1.96. I couldn't believe it, Sword. I couldn't believe it. I was like, this is the best day ever. This is the best day ever. You can't beat that. Now we done doubled that up. It's $5 over here now. It's $5. It's crazy. 4 years ago. Yeah. Honestly, it was much better. I know a lot of people had passed away from COVID, but that had nothing.
President Biden is expected to.
Oh, my bad, y'all. That had nothing to do with with the president. That thing was going to come regardless. Regardless of who was in there, who was in office, it was going to happen regardless. It was going to happen regardless. So we'll see, though. We'll see. Shout outs to Trump, man. Shout outs to Trump. You know, he might not have the best character, but shoot, he definitely was the better president. I'll say that. Stand up and say that for sure. But we're going to get into the next topic. Apparently, people have been saying this. People have been saying this a lot. They're saying that the protesters had people supporting them. They had a backing. People had to be funding all of these protests. And they finally came out and said who was actually funding them on Fox News. Let's tune into the video and see who is actually funding these protesters out in these streets.
And President Biden is expected to speak on the rise of anti-Semitism tomorrow as anti-Israeli protests fueled by his top political donors continue at colleges across the country.
And as protesters are arrested after piling up around the country, cities are being left to pay the high costs of the police response.
We have team coverage. Madison Allworth is right outside Columbia. But first, let's go to Peter Doocy at the White House. Guys?
Good morning. We knew the money was coming from somewhere, right?
Yep,
the
Spirit.
matching tents, the professionally printed signs, all the
Soros
supplies.
is a
Well,
part
now
of
we
it.
know that they were, at least in part, indirectly paid for by some of America's wealthiest liberal families. Politico did an investigation. Part of it says President Joe Biden has been dogged for months by pro-Palestinian protesters calling him Genocide Joe. But some of the groups behind the demonstrations received financial backing from philanthropists pushing hard for his reelection. The donors include some of the biggest names in Democratic circles. Gates.
Now we see why the president hasn't said anything about all these protests. Because he can't. Or else he's going to lose all this money, all this support. It makes sense now. It makes sense. You telling me Democrats was feeding all these protesting, all these pro-Palestine rioters this entire time? Man, this is craziness that we seeing out here in these streets. Soros, you're on the money, Sword. You're on the money. Democrats is running this thing. And now we understand why Joe Biden has not said anything about these protesters.
Soros, Rockefeller, and Pritzker, according to a Politico analysis. The Gates Foundation says that their donations to these groups are not active. They have stopped, but not George Soros. You see in December, 300,000, November, 350,000, September, 250,000. Susan Pritzker, October, 3,300. Nicholas Pritzker, November, 3,300. David Rockefeller, in September, 10,000. That would be donations to the Biden. That is a list of Biden campaign donors who are funding some of these groups that are behind the anti-Israel college protests. And that is that some Democrats in Congress say that they are eager to vote in favor of a House bill that adopts the Holocaust Remembrance Alliance's definition of anti-Semitism as law.
I was one of the co-leaders, sponsors of that bill, so of course I'm going to vote yes on that. And I think it's a very valid concern that really allowed I mean, that's an overwhelming vote, a bipartisan vote in the House as well. I think it's a great bill, and I look forward to voting for it.
So it appears that some wealthy donors are playing both sides of this election campaign, giving to President Biden's reelection effort, while also giving to some of the groups that are supporting these protesters who are seen as hurting President Biden's reelection effort. Back to you.
That might come up.
It's a double-edged sword right here. It's a double-edged sword. Biden's own people going behind his back. I don't even know if they're going behind his back, respectfully. I think Biden knew about this. I think Biden had a part to do with it. And there's one reason, and the only reason he's doing it, he's staying quiet, is because, he's getting money. He's getting funded. People want to see him back in office regardless. So they're going to do whatever it takes. They're going to split up the money however they got to split it up. And they're going to make sure that he gets in office. They're funding these protesters. They're funding all the judges and the courts that are suing Trump. They're doing it all. They're doing it all. They're using their money. They're using their power to make sure that Biden stays in office. And it's wild behavior. This is the saddest part of politics. The saddest part. You don't know who is doing what, and you never know what is actually good. Who is actually giving you the good stuff. It seems like everybody is always trying to get their own little bag out of this. It's sad, man, but let's continue.
For the White House press conference today, am I right, Peter?
Yes, right on.
If they call on you. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Peter. Now we turn to Madison Allworth, who is outside Columbia University, with more on who should be paying for the police response. Madison.
Hey, good morning, guys. Yeah, you know, college protests, they continue to grow, as does the police response and arrests on these protests. As they grow, so does the tab for the taxpayer. It is up to the city to pay for the police response on these university campuses. But some lawmakers are now saying that the universities, especially the private ones, should pay the bill. Mayor Eric Adams here in New York City saying late last week that at a minimum, it should be shared with private schools like Columbia. Take a listen.
We believe that they too should contribute to the cost, and one way to prevent the cost from escalating is to have a zero tolerance. As soon as that tent goes up, it comes down. Do not allow this to continue to expand.
Get your tents off my grass. That's how y'all need to say it on TV, man. Get your tents off my grass. Let them know. Let them know. Know that colleges should not be paying for it. Have the Soros family pay for it. They caused it. Have the Democrats pay for it. Mayor Adams, you probably allowed this to happen too. You should have stepped in way before they started setting up camp. You probably knew. Get those tents off my grass, man.
But we know that it has been allowed to continue to expand, not just on individual campuses, but really across the country. Now, we asked New York City and the NYPD how much these efforts have cost them. City Hall telling Fox Business it's too early to know, but it has definitely increased overtime for the police department. And it will continue to cost them overtime because Columbia has reportedly asked the city to keep a police presence near campus through commencement, which is May 15th. That is why a bipartisan group of lawmakers here in New York City called the Common Sense Caucus is calling on the school to pay, saying in a letter to the elite university, quote, the turmoil on Columbia's campus is entirely of your university's own making. Going on to say Columbia created this mess and Columbia, not New Yorkers, should pay to clean it up.
See that's not even fair. That's not even fair. Columbia didn't create this mess. They had to deal with it. But at the same time, you know what? I'm gonna go against the fence, and I'm gonna say this: Columbia should have been telling them, "Get off my grass too. Get out of here. Get off my property." Y'all should have had police there day one. Get these protesters off my lawn. Man, did y'all see what the lawns look like once they were done with it? With all these protests? It had yellow spots there, yellow spots over there, trash over there, trash over there. They left that thing a mess. A mess. All their grass is all burnt up now. And they just said, you know what? Set up camp. We'll allow you guys to stay out here for a couple more days. And then you guys can pick up your stuff and go. And they just said, we don't care what y'all talking about. We here regardless of what y'all talking about. Y'all got to force us out. That's the only way they got out. Y'all was playing too nice. These people didn't care nothing about what y'all was saying. Tell them to go home, man. Tell them to go home. I don't think that the taxpayers should pay for it. I think that the people who were behind the protesting, the funding, and all those parties that were involved, they should be the ones paying for it. They should be the ones paying for this tax bill. Unfortunately.
Now, when we look across the country, since April 18th, there have been over 2,399 protesters arrested on 52 college campuses across 27 states. Talk about a widespread problem. But as we've mentioned in multiple reports, there's a lot of federal money that goes to these private schools. On average, we're talking about billions of dollars, close to $1 billion per year in federal funding that goes to these elite universities. And also breaking today, guys, the Wall Street Journal is reporting that activist groups have been training these protesters that have taken over college campuses for months leading up to the protests. And this is something that we saw in our reporting last week. Peter spoke to in his report, coordinated tents, similar signs, all of this pointing to a much larger, big.
People was training each other on how to protest, how to not get arrested, how to do what you got to do to get your message across. These people are nuts, man. These people are nuts. The world that we live in is crazy. I can't lie. The world that we live in is crazy. But shout out to them. They got something accomplished. They got a bill on the table that is probably going to get signed. Respectfully, though, y'all should have told them get y'all tents off my grass, man. Get y'all tents off my grass, man. We ain't doing this here. Y'all got to do this somewhere else. Do this on government property. Don't do it at the school. Don't do it at the school. Sad, man, sad. But let me know how you guys feel about this down in the comments below. I'd really like to know y'all thoughts, man. This is crazy. We had a feeling. We had a feeling that people was funding this. Obviously, they got donors, but we didn't know they was Democratic. We didn't know they was Democratic donors. That's the craziest thing about all of this. We did not know. Now we know. Now we understand. Now we understand. We got one more video, y'all. We got one more video to get into. It's been a dope show. I hope you guys are enjoying the show. I hope y'all were entertained so far. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. D says 100, not out of school. Not at the school. It's not the right way. I heard that they did this during the Vietnam War also, but I heard it wasn't as reckless. It was more peaceful, way more peaceful than this. But they got their message across. People don't want to see war. We understand. We understand. If that is the reason why y'all are protesting, because we don't want to see war, then we understand. But if y'all are protesting because y'all feel liberated and y'all feel like people should be liberated and they should just vandalize schools because people are not free and all this nonsense, that defeats the purpose of any protest y'all talking about. It defeats the purpose. It completely defeats the purpose. But hey, they got something done, so they made it work. They made it work. We got one more topic to go. One more topic to go. And man, I've been to Mexico and they was selling me some mangoes. They said they had mangoes with tahini. They had watermelons on the street. They had some interesting candies. I mean, these candies was good. I can't even lie. And they had the chips too. They had the chips. They had the water. They had what you need. They had everything you needed. They had everything you needed. And they saying they got everything you need again. But this time it's in the United States of America. The kids is hustling out in these streets, man. The migrants, we can't make this stuff up. They bringing their talents to New York City, man. Let's tune into the video.
This is another phase of the migrant crisis in New York City. Children exposed to the danger while doing labor that not even an adult is supposed to be doing without the proper permits. The migrants you're about to see agreed to speak to us if we don't reveal their identities.
This is the harsh reality of the migrant crisis in New York City. Children in the subway system or on the street, selling snacks, candy, fruits, and beverages. On a sunny spring afternoon, we met a mother with her 7-year-old daughter at the steps of the entrance to the Columbus Circle station. They migrated from Ecuador 3 months ago. Mom told me in Spanish that they live in a migrant shelter and that this is the only way they can make some money to send back home. We also witnessed.
Listen, y'all, they got the blueprint. They got the blueprint, man. They got the blueprint. They said they coming to the United States. They gonna live for free in a migrant shelter. Go to this train station during the day. Pop open their cooler and their lunch bags, whatever they got in there, their snacks, their Gatorades. They gonna sell it for $2.50, $3. Come back to the shelter that they living for free in and stack up all that money just to send it back home to Mexico and Venezuela. I mean, you can't make this up. They got the blueprint. They got the blueprint. Not only is the adults doing it, the adults are training their young ones who are supposed to be in school. I had to bring this to the channel, man. Let's continue.
How NYPD officers instructed a mom and her 6-year-old daughter to move away from the steps of Bryant Park, where they were selling water and soda. Even more heartbreaking to see, mothers that are carrying their babies on their backs, putting both of their lives in danger.
If a mom was to leave her child back in the shelter.
Was she just by the edge of the train? By where the train? Isn't that yellow line where you're not supposed to enter? What you doing with all those mangoes on the floor over there with a baby in your hand? This is wild behavior. This is wild behavior.
Of their lives in danger.
If a mom was to leave her child back in the shelter unsupervised, then ACS would really have to come in.
But would that be considered, quote, legal or illegal to have your child with you on a subway?
First of all, it is not, you're not supposed to be panhandling on the subway. So let me say that clearly. You're not supposed to be doing that. Whether or not it's safe, a risk to your child, I think that we would have to make a determination about that, but I don't think we think that that's what's unsafe. What we think that is unsafe sometimes is you see children by themselves, which I think is dangerous for a lot of different reasons, or families and moms in traffic.
I saw that in Ecuador, I saw that in Mexico, I saw that in Colombia. So sometimes people bring their culture and how practices are done into the city.
At the beginning of April,
you see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? They do this in their countries. And they thought they could come to the United States without a permit and just do the same thing. It don't work like that over here. It don't work like that over here. Y'all gotta pick up y'all stuff and find a permit, and then y'all could come back. But y'all can't just be out here selling stuff on the streets like this. That's not how it works in the United States. I understand. I respect the hustle. I respect your hustle. Don't get me wrong. But you can't do that over here now. You can't do that over here.
Mayor Eric Adams appointed multiple agencies to tackle this problem.
Have you seen any progress?
We worked on palm cards, we worked on flyers, and then we wanted to translate them into Spanish, and then we're distributing them in the subways, above ground.
What's a palm card? What is a palm card? This is something new to me. I've never heard of it. If y'all know what it is, please let me know in the chat. But I never heard anything like that. What is a palm card?
Flyers, and then we wanted to translate them into Spanish, and then we.
Hold up.
We worked on palm cards, we worked on flyers, and then we wanted to translate them into Spanish, and then we're distributing them in the subways, above ground. So this week we're going to be starting really with that mass distribution in all of the shelters where new arrival families are, and also our brothers and sisters in school and in early childhood centers.
Deputy Mayor Ann Williams Isom says that over 190,000 migrants have come to New York City since the spring of 2022.
The amount of children that are in the DOE system is about 19,000.
Then there are those that are younger than school-age children, like this 2-year-old Boyd on this corner in Jackson Heights, Queens, while his mother sells fruits. I asked her where and who are you getting the merchandise from?
Yo, this look like Mexico. It looks exactly like Mexico. Like there's no difference. Cars running around, little babies right next to their moms, selling fruits. This is Mexico. This is the new Mexico. This is crazy. This is crazy. And this stuff is not allowed here, but they doing it anyways. Dee says nothing will change until Americans stand up and assemble their country. Man, I think it's too late. It's too late. It's too late. All people want to do is vote and recall, and we must self-govern, obviously. We are being governed by criminals. Absolutely. I agree 100% with that. How much more does America need to see? Man, these people don't care about Americans anymore. The last thing they care about is Americans. They don't care about Americans. They are the new Americans now. It's looking like they done took over. They taking over the streets. They taking over the shelters. They're sleeping in hospitals. They're sleeping in. I remember a few weeks ago it was way worse than this. It started cooling off, but a few weeks ago, just in Boston alone, people were sleeping in the airport. People were sleeping, literally sleeping in sleeping bags, had suitcases, children running around. I'll never forget. I'll never forget. We have breath. It's not too late. We have God too. America, God bless America. Do the work. That's a message from Dee. She says it's not too late. She says it's not too late. But honestly, they are allowing it to happen. The government does not care. They are allowing it to happen right now. That's why. The only way for this to change is if the other guy gets back in. That's the only way. And even then, right? If Trump gets in and he starts closing up the borders, he starts getting the Border Patrol heavy presence over there. They were storming the border the other day. It's like they don't even care who is at the border anymore. They don't care. We can't shoot them because that's not going to fly. So they got to get detained. They got to get processed. And then they're going to be out on the streets. Yeah, Logan Airport in Boston has its own tent city. It's a fact. In Terminal E. You can't make this stuff up.
She responded by saying, quote, "A friend referred me to a man, but I cannot tell you who that man is."
Are people being exploited? And is there somebody out there who is giving, whether it's water or candy to these folks or fruit in order to do it? I know that the NYPD has been looking into that. We're concerned about trafficking.
Human trafficking is a major concern to Council Member Francisco Moya. Jackson Heights is part of his district.
We have a real epidemic here in this area that truly, I believe, is the epicenter of where human trafficking is happening.
He says child street vendors have been seen outside of businesses such as bars next to women who are offering erotic massages.
What we're seeing along Roosevelt Avenue is the decay of...
Oh my God. I didn't know they were selling each other out on the streets of New York also. Wow. Wow. D says Trump is one man. We are the plan. We are waiting for he cannot fix everything. But maybe people will be less afraid to pick the right side. We are divided. The two corporations of the U.S. is not we, the people. I agree 100%. Trump is definitely just one man. He has a big impact on the people, but one man can't change the world. One man can't change the world. It takes all of us. It takes all of us. But they're allowing all these illegals in. They're allowing them in. And eventually, those illegals are going to get a voice. They're already getting a voice, matter of fact. They're getting free living. They're getting free food. They're setting up shops. They're allowing it. They're allowing it. We're allowing it as a people. As a people. Well, let's continue, man. Let's finish this video off.
Our well-being here, our society here. We're seeing open-air prostitution that we've never encountered here in the city of New York.
Do you think the migrant crisis has exacerbated this situation?
It certainly has, and this goes to address the failure of the federal government.
The Adams administration continues to share this message.
We want to make sure that people understand children should be in school.
But this mother who sells churros with her two sons told me it is easier said than done, a sentiment they all seem to share.
Was the city ready for this?
I don't think any city was ready for this.
As far as the situation on Roosevelt Avenue, Council Member Moya told me his priority has been to address this issue, but that other elected officials support what's happening there. He did not elaborate any further. I also asked Deputy Mayor Ann Williams-Eisen what the biggest challenge is when it comes to children selling in the subway system or on the street. She responded by saying to culturally look into the situation with open eyes. I'm Eliezer Marte, Pix 11 News.
Shout out to Eliezer Marte. Shout out to Eliezer Marte for bringing us that story, man. Shout outs to him, man. Well. Please let me know how you guys feel about that down in the comments below. These people are out here on the streets hustling. They were doing it in Denver. Now they bringing it to Chicago and New York. In the subways. The dirtiest part of New York. That's tough. That's tough. Hey, thank you so much for tuning in, Sword. Thank you so much. The next time you come on here, you will have a wrench. You will have a wrench. Thank you so much. I appreciate your viewership. Enjoy your night. I'm about to get out of here myself too. It's been a beautiful show. I hope you guys were entertained. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I appreciate y'all viewership. I really do. Thank you, D, for popping in. I see you, D. You've been doing your thing. I've been tuning in. I'm learning a lot from you, honestly. I'm learning a lot from you. I love your hustle. I love your passion to see this change happen. And, you got my support for real. For real. I love you guys. I do. It's good. It's good. You'll have a wrench. I promise. Have a great night, Spirit. Have a great night. yeah, I really do appreciate your work ethic. I appreciate your humbleness. I appreciate your grind. I see you. I see you. I see you, man. I wish you all the best. Much success. Make sure y'all leave a like on the way out. Yeah, until next time, I'll be back next week, next Monday. If not, I might have a surprise stream this week. Y'all turn on the notification bells if y'all want to tune in with me. But I'll see you guys. Until next time, love you guys.